to not allow me to get in front of Senate.
A top House Republican officially resigns from Congress.
House Homeland Security Committee Chairman Mark Green's retirement brings the GOP House majority to 219 Republicans and 212 Democrats. The Tennessee congressman's transition to the private sector has been in the works for some time, as Green stayed in Congress in order to help the GOP pass the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Lawsuits have been filed over the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. As Chris Woodward explains, the issue involves the defunding of places that provide abortions.
Planned Parenthood says the defunding of places that provide abortion is unfair to women that come to them for services beyond abortion. Maine Family Planning makes a similar argument, but Nick Adolphson of the Christian Civic League of Maine applauds what Congress did with the Big Beautiful Bill. He adds that Planned Parenthood and Maine Family Planning are not really doing that many health care services.
If this is a conversation about health care access, Planned Parenthood and Family Planning don't even need to be part of the conversation. We have rural hospitals that are struggling, and so maybe we need to have a conversation around payment structure. Maybe we need to have a conversation about how many people we have on Medicaid, which reimburses at a loss. We've propped up a paying system that is public, that is Medicaid, that doesn't pay enough, instead of strengthening our health insurance industry or making some of the health care access more affordable for people.
Planned Parenthood attorneys have made similar arguments about the One Big Beautiful Bill Act on behalf of its affiliates in Massachusetts and Utah.
Throughout the country, hordes of dozens, sometimes hundreds of teens are creating chaos in malls, public pools, and other community spaces, with some instances leading to arrests for violent behavior and bans from businesses. On Independence Day weekend, a crowd of hundreds of teens descended on an Illinois pool, disturbing families and partaking in illegal activity that led to the arrest of one. Family therapist Tom Kirsting says this problem can be traced back to the lack of rules in their homes.
You know, this generation, the trophy generation, the instant gratification generation, they are so accustomed to having everything they want when they want it that you become entitled. More that you're exposed to things that are, unruly or criminal-like behavior, the more your brain begins to normalize that. You don't see it as a big deal. So like 200 kids showing up at a pool and being unruly, to them, they're entitled, number one.
Right.
I'm not sure what's going on in their households, but there's certainly not, rigid rules and so forth.
For American Family News, I'm Rusty Pugh.
In a recent survey of 1,200 left-of-center American adults, 55% responded that assassinating Donald Trump could be justified. We're swimming in shark-infested cultural waters. Some are suffering from Christianophobia. Jesus said, if they persecuted me, they'll also persecute you. Please give today to help AFA keep equipping you and others to stand for Christ. Help us shine His light into our dark culture. Visit afa.net/warrior.
Welcome to Today's Issues, offering a Christian response to the issues of the day. Here's your host, Tim Wildman, President of the American Family Association.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Today's Issues on the American Family Radio Network. Today's Tuesday, July the 22nd, 2025. Thanks for listening to AFR. Joining me in studio is Ed Vitagliano. Good morning, Brother Ed.
Good morning, Tim.
Wesley Wildman. Good morning.
Howdy.
And Christopher Woodward.
Good morning.
Good morning, Brother Chris.
Is he the only one that calls you Christopher?
That and my mom and
Right.
the federal government and letters.
Yes.
Federal government.
Yeah.
I know. We all we call by our formal names.
My wife calls me Christopher every once in a while.
Yeah.
When you're in trouble?
Usually.
Yeah. All right, so Fred's out, and Fred's not supposed to be on. Ray's out. Ray Pritchard.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we know where Ray is? Where in the world is Ray Pritchard? Anybody know?
Traveling.
Yeah, he's traveling somewhere teaching the Bible.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, doing that little Bible teaching thing he does, on the side.
Mm-hmm. All right, you're on your own, Ed.
I always tease Ray when he's on. I'll say, "So when are you doing your little Bible teaching thing, Ray?"
Yeah.
And because that's really what he's called to do.
Hey, the places though that he gets to go and the pictures that I've seen of places he's been, I'll oftentimes when he's on the radio, he'll mention it and I'll look it up online, and they are some pretty gorgeous places.
Yeah.
Oh, he does that on purpose.
Yes.
No, Brother Ray's not going to pick North Dakota
That's
in
right.
January. He's going to decline. I respectfully decline. I can't be with you.
I don't feel led.
In North Dakota in January, my back's going to be out there in that.
So it's very selective.
Yeah. So he goes to Cannon Beach, Oregon,
yeah.
Florida in the winter.
That's it.
Upstate New York in the. We're just teasing, folks. Ray Pritchard is a excellent Bible teacher.
Yes, he
much
is.
in demand.
Yes.
And also these places he goes are usually camps or campground meetings type things, and so they are at beautiful destinations.
Right. And he goes to, does he go to Korea? Where is it over in the Pacific?
Wesley went with him to China.
Yeah.
So he and those are long flights. That's not a fun little trip to Disney World.
Not a junket.
Yeah, it's not a junket. That's
a lot of the material that he has over the last decade has been translated into other languages.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about audio, which is fairly easy to do nowadays, but even in print, a lot of his stuff has been translated into different languages.
Right. Ray's a humble guy. He did his ministry's worldwide.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway,
keepbelieving.com.
Keepbelieving.com. If you want to read one book by Ray Pritchard, he has a lot of excellent books and news and information on the Bible and Bible books of the Bible that he teaches on. But Anchor for the Soul is what he's most well known for.
Oh, okay.
Over 1 million copies in print.
Wow.
Anchor for the Soul. It's an excellent book. All right, Chris, what do you got for us, my friend?
Well, I want to begin with some Hunter Biden news.
Oh, good. That's what I've been looking for.
Well, I'm going to bring this up because I had to go to great lengths to get a clean audio from what I'm about to play here. Because Hunter, in the last day or so, went on about a 3-hour rant in which he used a lot of profanity to blast Democrats like George Clooney, the actor who wanted Joe Biden to step out of the race last year based on his mental faculties. He also ripped members of the Democratic Party in general for forcing his dad out, all these kinds of things.
Why the anger, Chris?
I think he's mad that the big guy is not in office anymore for him to make money off of. That's one answer, possibly, to your question. But here is a bit of clean audio because this is a family-friendly show. I am a father of 2 children, so I understand the concerns some parents have.
We are a Christian radio network, too.
We are,
so
yes.
We're not in there and profane quotes here.
Right. So I've got clean audio. It's about 15 seconds of Hunter talking to a podcaster about the debacle that was the debate between his dad, President Joe Biden, and former President Donald Trump last year. Clip 1.
I'll tell you what, I know exactly what happened in that debate. He flew around the world, basically, and the mileage that he could have flown around the world 3 times. Yeah. He's 81 years old. He's tired. They give him Ambien to be able to sleep. He gets up on the stage, and he looks like he's a deer in the headlights.
Now, again, he went on to just use a lot of profanity and rant about all kinds of things and all kinds of people, including the Democratic Party, and what it's done to itself. And that led Fox this morning to truck out various people to respond to this. Here is a columnist and Fox News contributor by the name of Selena Zito, who said Hunter is not helping Democrats here. Clip 2.
Yeah, for the guy who's supposed to answer the 3 a.m. phone call, it's bewildering, right? I can't imagine a doctor prescribing that to a president, and I can't imagine that this has been a secret. So this, again, is part of this sort of rehearsed event to try to save the Biden legacy, right? And there's 2 reactions out there. I was out in talking with people when this dropped, and you have Democrats who are like, oh, please go away. We are never going to recover from this. It just goes on and on and on.
Okay, so that was the Hunter Biden quote. He's talking about his dad, then President Biden.
Right.
And that disastrous first debate that he had with now President Trump, that we all saw, and that caused the Democrats to kick him out, right? Okay.
Right. That's a fair assessment of what they did.
Yes. So he said that President Biden was on Ambien, right?
That was one of his excuses for how he performed.
That's a good excuse.
You heard that right.
I don't know.
Ambien is a narcotic, is it not?
I don't know. I've heard of it, and I've known a couple people who have taken it, and it said it messed with their head.
This is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So you have
it's mostly prescribed, to my knowledge, of helping people sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
People who can't sleep, some people take Ambien, but you have to get it from a doctor prescription.
That's
This
right.
isn't something you go down to Walgreens and get off.
It's not like Advil or it's not like there's another chewable. There's
melatonin.
Melatonin. Yeah. It's not like that.
Yeah, I thought that was a skin color thing.
That's melanin.
Melanin.
The melanin.
Yeah.
Oh, I got my males mixed
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's why I didn't make it in medical school.
And that's why you got off the Ambien too.
That's right. A combination of both does not.
Thankfully, I haven't need Ambien.
Yeah,
I go to sleep quite well on my own.
Yeah.
Thank you. But anyway, here's the point.
Mm-hmm.
That what Hunter Biden is trying to use as an excuse for his dad is also the very reason why he shouldn't be president of the United States. Because the way he's describing, he's saying, well, he's 80. What do you expect? He's saying, what do you expect? He's 81. They got him flying around the world. Well, okay, that's what the president does.
Right.
And they got him on Ambien. So what do you expect, people? We're going like that. You just have all the reasons why.
Made the point.
Yes, why he shouldn't be president of the United States. And back to the Ambien point, Allison, my wife, took that once, and she said she'll never take it again because the way it affected her body and her brain. Now, I'm sure it's ineffective. I know people also who've taken it, and they say, well, I'm glad I have it because I can't sleep without it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I understand that side of it, too. But the president of the United States should not be dependent on Ambien to go to sleep because it affects you.
The point they were making there in the interview is that they do have to take the 3 a.m. calls.
Right.
There are things that do happen in the middle of the night, and if you are completely knocked
out, you're knocked out. All right, so
I don't know.
Any other medical discussion here?
No, I just wish we had at least I'll take responsibility, but we should have drug up a portion of the clip of the debate somewhere in there to provide some humor because that was quite funny.
The debate?
That.
We finally beat Medicare. Yeah. And then Trump's like, I don't know what he said, and I don't think he knows.
This is just for us only, but look at this image right there alone.
What was one of the?
That was one of the best debate lines I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Which one
when
now?
President Trump, he was
President 45.
Candidate Trump.
Yeah.
Biden said something, and
nobody understood.
He trailed off, and then they asked President Trump if he'd like to respond, and he said, "I don't even know what he just said there. I don't think even he knows." Yeah. I mean, that was a damaging blow to Biden.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, now we're replaying it for the audience.
There was a clip, I think it was Jake Tapper, recalling that moment, had said somebody texted him during that right after that exchange and said Joe Biden just lost the presidency.
All right, we've got it.
We do? Okay.
Brent Creeley, our producer, our excellent producer,
This
found this.
This is from when now?
This is the debate.
Last summer?
And
about a year ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was in June.
It was last June.
Yeah.
Last June. This is one of so this was probably Joe Biden's one of his greatest hits.
Yes.
All right.
Go ahead.
With Trump.
$2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary
Is that the wrong clip?
person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do.
Wait for it.
Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Okay, that's where
he was going pretty strong there for about 30 seconds.
I understood the beginning.
He finally beat
But
Medicare.
he beat Medicare.
But that's okay. I was going to
It's
share
like
with
Ohio State beat Notre Dame.
Yep.
We beat Medicare. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. My favorite. Okay, yours was in the top 3, but my favorite is when Trump said, "Yeah, you beat Medicare. You beat Medicare to death."
Yeah.
You did. That was my number one.
Because that would come right after this.
Yeah,
Bless
but
him.
but
Bless him.
to your
You're
point,
wondering why we're talking about this again. Hunter Biden had a big interview.
He did.
It's all over the news.
If listeners have not heard it yet,
you don't need to.
It's
listen to that.
it's R-rated would be conservative.
Yeah, he's
the only thing I was going to say about the Hunter Biden rant is that he's obviously bitter that his father was removed basically by force because Joe Biden was. Now I'm starting to sound like him. Joe Biden was told, I think, basically that donors aren't going to give you money if you stay in the race. And Hunter Biden thinks it was that betrayal that kept his father out of the White House and for re-election rather than Joe Biden's performance. And I think Hunter Biden, for a number of reasons, is clearly delusional.
Mm-hmm.
all right. So Wesley, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we do forget, though, I understand the unfortunate dilemma in the Democrat Party, and I understand.
You feel for them.
I feel for them. And they did, and I understand why they booted him. However, I can see why some people would like him, like even if he wasn't his son, if you were a Democrat, you voted for him. They
Right.
had an election. They had candidates, and he
Well,
won it.
listen, fellas, when you got a juggernaut like Kamala Harris,
That's right.
who's sitting on the bench, sitting on the bench ready to come into the game like Tom Brady,
A top draft pick that hasn't had a chance yet.
You can't leave her on the bench for a guy who can't even who thinks he beat Medicaid.
Medicare.
That too.
That too. Both of them.
So I mean, I understand why they did what they did, the Democrats.
I just wanted to take us back in time and have a little fun.
All right, you're listening to today's issues on the American Family Radio.
There's the interview.
Tim, Ed, Wesley, and Chris. Chris, what's the next story?
In other news involving the Democratic Party, former Congressman and Obama advisor and Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel sat down for a lengthy discussion with Megyn Kelly to talk about a number of issues, including so-called transgender issues. And Emanuel's comments are counter to what we're hearing from a lot of high-profile Democrats today. Here is kind of a montage of various things that Rahm Emanuel had to say to Megyn Kelly and her questions to him. Clip 7.
Do you believe boys should be able to play in girls' sports?
No.
Do you believe that...
Is this the round robin?
Yeah, we'll do quick rapid fire. And then we can move past this.
Okay.
Do you believe that kids under the age of 18 should be able to be put on puberty blockers and then cross-sex hormones?
I think parents have to make that decision themselves. I think that is a child is too young at 18 to make that decision. It has to be made with a family and that choice. I think before somebody makes a life decision, they have to think twice about that.
Should we be putting men in female prisons? Men claiming they're women?
No.
And, all right, here's my last one for you. Can a man become a woman?
Can a man become a woman? No.
Thank you.
No.
That's so easy. Why don't more people in your party just say that?
Because I'm now going to go into a witness protection plan.
That was Rahm Emanuel.
Yes.
Everybody, most people remember him. He was Obama's chief of staff, right?
He was. Never let a crisis go to waste. That goes back to Rahm Emanuel.
Yeah, but that was refreshingly honest there. And I guess Megyn Kelly's almost surprised by his answer.
Well, and he says the quiet part out loud, that where his party is,
right,
just saying something so obviously true,
right,
puts him in such hot water that he's likening it to having to go into witness protection. If you tell the truth about the mob, that's when you go into witness protection.
Right.
I just like to point out that he still is a Democrat to a degree when he goes, no.
No, yeah.
He wanted it.
Is there anything I could say to escape the question about can a man become a woman? And he goes, no.
Yeah.
So
if
maybe
there was anything there.
For our younger listeners, that what his comments there and his mindset are what Democrats were not that long ago. Like there was a time in the 90s where Democrats were kind of like Rahm Emanuel right there. Bill Clinton
That's right.
was famous for saying he wanted abortion to be safe, legal, and rare. And now we're at a point where they're telling people to shout their abortion. Like they're not the pro-choice party anymore. They're the pro-abortion party and the pro-transgender party. Whereas his comments were what they used to be like.
And there's no coming away from it.
No.
There's no way for the Democratic Party to move back to the middle. I say to the middle. I'm not saying you compromise on the issue of abortion. Please understand me. I'm just saying moving to a more moderate position on these two major social issues. This is why Rahm Emanuel says he has to go into witness protection. He could politically be cooked.
Oh, yeah.
For just saying these things out loud by the more radicalized parts of the base that are threatening to seize control of the whole party apparatus for the Democrats.
All right, next story.
And I managed to work the word apparatus
I noticed that.
into the show.
I noticed it. An apparatus. Spell it, Ed.
A-P-P-P-A-P-P-A-R-A-T-U-S. Apparatus.
All right.
URCORRECT.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was good on the fly right there, on the spot. Apparatus. Go ahead, Chris.
Meanwhile, this Mamdani guy continues to make headlines.
Who?
Mamdani is the socialist or communist that's running for mayor of New York City.
He just got one name, like Cher?
Yeah, he's up there. Right. Oh, that's pretty much Zohran Mamdani.
Well, my name's Zohran. I want it used.
That's fair.
So Zohran
Mamdani.
Zohran Mamdani. And that's not one of the,
superheroes.
No, that's not Marvel or DC Comics.
Or the kind of the masked Avenger who righted wrongs in Mexico.
Yeah.
And we also
with a Z.
That's Spanish for fox, by the way.
And also we need to really do include this. We often use the word, hey, this person is a communist because we prescribe that to them based on their actions. No, he's a self-identified communist. Right. He is.
Okay, so he's the mayoral Democrat mayoral candidate in New York City.
Right. And he is
Zohran.
His policies are very communist or socialist in nature. And I've got some audio here. Various people, including some Democrats, are concerned about Mamdani possibly becoming the next mayor of New York City. Okay. Here is New Jersey Democratic Representative Josh Gottheimer sharing a few thoughts about Mamdani. Clip 5.
I think his policies do not comport with our party, right? He wants to not only increase taxes, and he's refused to condemn anti-Semitic phrases like globalize the intifada. I think what we need in the Democratic Party is common sense, problem solvers who want to get things done, who want to make life more affordable for people. And he's not, that his agenda clearly is not in line with the Democratic Party. The bottom line is what I'm hearing from the Democrats that I talk to regularly is he's not representative of the Democratic Party. He's a socialist.
So Democrats are all over the place based on things we've played since the show started. And Mamdani, who is kind of like the AOCs of the world, he's becoming the face of the party, whether they like it or not.
Look, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, this guy Zohran Mamdani, they're both young. They're both good-looking. So they're very presentable on television and in social media. They're both passionate, okay?
Energetic.
And they're energetic. And
you're describing me.
Yes, well.
I mean, I can't help but notice it. Keep going.
Okay. They're both really not that smart, not that bright. So I had to depart a little bit from you, Tim. But no, I mean, I don't really know. Mamdani may very well be very bright. AOC does not strike me as being the sharpest knife in the drawer. But when you compare them to the other Democrats who are in charge of the party establishment, okay, we're talking about people like Nancy Pelosi, especially when she was in power, Chuck Schumer, some of these old people. Okay, now I'm saying this as an older person.
Yeah, you are.
You are going to draw. You're making a clear distinction between yourself and the past, and you're going to draw a lot of younger voters, especially younger voters who can't buy homes, who are stuck under a lot of college debt. I think Mamdani and AOC, I think they present a real danger in this country. I don't think we're at that place yet where we would see a socialist, making a legitimate run for the White House. But I don't think we're that far away, especially with young and impressive people like AOC and Mamdani.
Yeah. Speaking of AOC, she will be age eligible to run for president in 2028 should she throw her hat in that ring. And there will be a push for people thinking that she's capable of that. I've even heard people say that if Mamdani becomes the mayor of New York City, somebody's going to put him on a magazine and try to make him
City is
the next Obama.
An important position if you're mayor of that city. Well, Rudolph Giuliani ran for president.
Well, most people in America know who the mayor of New York City is. It's that high-profile position. Zoran Mamdani is.
I think you're just going to like saying it now.
I do. It sounds cool. Like he's going to fly through the air. Like Superman.
That's right. He holds up a letter to his forehead and tells the future.
All right, so we're going to take a break. We'll take our break a little early right here. And what was the point of our Zoran Mamdani?
We were talking about
Democrats. Some Democrats are worried
yes.
that he's too far. That he's too far
doesn't
left.
represent the party.
Correct.
Yeah, there is a division,
right,
from the old school Democrats and the new, as you described them, basically socialist, communist wing of the Democrat Party, which is, as you said, where a lot of the energy is today.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a short time out right here. We'll be back with more of the news of the day right here on the program, Today's Issues.
It's my turn.
Here is your host for My Turn, Don Wildman.
The Spirit immediately drove him out into the wilderness, and he was in the wilderness 40 days, tempted by Satan. And he was with the wild beast, and the angels ministered to him. The wilderness spoken of in the temptation experience of Jesus is unlike the conception most Americans have of a wilderness. When the word wilderness is spoken, we usually associate it with a region of tremendous undergrowth and trees. The wilderness which Jesus faced was one of rolling hills, nearly barren of any growth. Tradition places the area where Jesus spent his 40 days in the wilderness as being between Jerusalem and the Dead Sea. It's an almost treeless area of scant vegetation, except during the rainy season when grass grows. The area is some 15 miles wide and 35 miles long. A visitor to the Holy Land today can see to the north of Jericho the traditional Mount of Temptation. Supposedly, this is the mountain spoken of in the wilderness experience. The temptation of Jesus followed immediately on the heels of his baptism. We are told that he was led by the Holy Spirit into the desert. Christ had made a public confession of his faith in God. Now that faith was to be tested. Christ needed to know before he set out on the journey if he had the requirements to finish the journey. He was to later remind his followers, no man sets out to build a building unless he first counts the cost to see if he will be able to finish it. It was lonely in the wilderness. Jesus went in alone. He knew that the time would come when he would have to make important decisions alone. He had to prepare himself for that time. We are told that for 40 days he fought the struggle with his tempter. He had no other to help him in his struggle there in that wilderness except for the presence of God. During these days, Jesus went without food. It was while he was hungry that he was tempted to use his power to turn stones into bread. But Christ refused. It was the beginning of a pattern to be used throughout the whole of his public ministry. He would never use his power in a selfish manner. This pattern reached its pinnacle at the cross when he refused to excuse himself from the suffering and dying. It was in the wilderness that Jesus fought his greatest battle. It was here that he first set his face toward Jerusalem. It was here, alone and hungry, that Jesus conquered his supreme test. He did not break. He did not bend. He had been called to a high and holy task. He met and defeated his tempter. Now he was prepared to go back into the world. There is a wilderness experience for each of us. There is a time when, faced with which road of life to follow, we fight the struggle within the depths of our very own heart. Other battles will follow, but the major battle of our life is out in the wilderness when we are alone and hungry. The temptations we face, like those of Christ, are always extremely attractive. The wilderness is a very ugly and desolate place, and the temptations are extremely tempting. Few win out over the temptations of the wilderness, but those who do can walk toward Jerusalem and a waiting cross. For their life belongs to God, and it is His power which sustains them.
This has been My Turn with Don Wildman, a production of the American Family Association.
We give thanks to God always for all of you, constantly mentioning you in our prayers, remembering before our God and Father your work of faith and labor of love and steadfastness of hope in our Lord Jesus Christ. 1 Thessalonians 1:3.
American Family Radio. This is today's issues. Email your comments to comments@afr.net. Past broadcasts of today's issues are available for listening and viewing in the archive at afr.net. Now, back to more of today's issues.
Welcome back, everybody, to today's issues on American Family Radio. Tim, Ed, Wesley, and Chris. President Trump announced today he is going to have a day of mourning for CBS late night host Stephen Colbert, who was fired, lost his job. And so I don't know when that'll be forthcoming. I'm sure.
The details, that is.
Well, the flags will be ordered to be at half-mast for one Stephen Colbert, who's still alive, but television-wise, he died.
He's not, right.
Yeah.
It must be terrible to lose your job and still be owed millions of dollars.
Said President Trump, and I'm okay. I'm not kidding about this.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you're just serious?
What I said the last 1 minute was not serious.
Oh, okay.
What I'm about to say now is,
okay.
I'm quoting President Trump on his Truth Social. You know where he goes to rant his feelings about everything in the world,
right? Big and small.
Is it in
big and small?
All caps or small caps?
It's his therapy. It's his self-therapy, President Trump. So he just says whatever he feels. He said, quote, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired." And he said his talent was even less than his ratings. This is Trump talking. I hear Jimmy Kimmel is next. He has even less talent than Colbert. Greg Gutfeld is better than all of them combined, including the moron on NBC who ruined the once great Tonight Show. End of quote.
Goodness.
So Colbert responded with a phrase that I can't repeat.
Did he go Hunter Biden on us?
But yes, I can't repeat that on our radio network, nor would I want to. But anyway, yeah. So Trump's celebrating the television death of Stephen Colbert. And have you watched any of these late night? I haven't watched them in years.
Any of them.
I watched Gutfeld a couple times, and he's pretty good. He has a panel on.
I watch clips.
I don't know. Huh?
If it's something interesting,
you watch a clip The View. You're a big View guy, aren't you?
Oh my goodness.
DVRs it and watches it after the show.
You get dumber listening to The View.
Yes.
I mean,
it lowers your IQ.
Yeah.
Listening to this show raises your IQ.
Right.
Listening to The View.
I got a PhD last week.
That hurts. I've had one of those.
A PhD?
Yeah.
You take Ambien for that?
Well,
yeah,
I thought about it. You will think about it. You get one of those. All right, you're listening to today's issues on the American Family
That was 4 minutes. Our
Radio
listeners
Network.
lost forever.
Well, I think they're celebrating Stephen Colbert, even though they don't watch him.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons he's gone.
Yes.
Very true.
All right, but he's really angry with President Trump mocking him.
You just can't get off it.
Mocking him. Trump trolls better than anybody in human history. Am I right?
He'll send you through the roof.
Yeah.
If you're on the receiving end.
So you're listening to today's issues. Well, we have as our guest now Kirk Cameron. Kurt's on with us from time to time here on today's issues on AFR. He is an actor, author, and producer, and he's also a librarian. So just a very diverse guy here. Kirk Cameron joins us from who knows where. Kirk, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
All right. Good. Where are you today?
I'm in Tennessee. I live here now, the volunteer state. It's a beautiful place.
Yes, but I mean, what well are you calling us from?
I don't know. What does it sound echoey on your end?
Yes, it does. Echoey. That's a good word too, by the way.
That's right. We probably can get through.
Hey,
this,
we
Kurt.
can make it. It's not that bad. Okay, Kurt. And I knew you lived in Tennessee because you were on with us a couple of times in the past.
Can I ask Kirk a question?
Yes,
Kirk,
why don't we have him?
we mentioned yesterday, this is not the reason why we had you on, obviously, but we mentioned yesterday that In-N-Out Burger is moving its headquarters to Nashville. You lived in California. Are you an In-N-Out fan?
Of course. We love In-N-Out, and anytime a city has that much-needed chicken-beef balance that is provided by both Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out Burger, it reaches this golden equilibrium that makes life worth living.
You asked for it, Ed.
Well, listen, that's a good answer.
You got it.
That's a beautiful answer.
It's a beautiful answer.
Yeah.
Big, beautiful
It was a big, beautiful answer. All right, we were mentioning that that President Trump sends people into orbit on the left, and if Kirk Cameron is one, folks, we have Kirk Cameron. This is a special guest. He sends people into orbit too, because he is a bold, unapologetic Christian. And Kirk, tell us a little bit about See You at the Library. That's what Tim meant by you're a librarian. You're bold about your faith. Tell our listeners what See You at the Library is all about and why you started this.
Well, See You at the Library is a very special yearly event that started a couple of years ago when I started reading children's books at public libraries, and I was locked out of those libraries by elite leftists. This is the purple hair platoon that wanted you to come if you were going to read a transgender book or something about gay dinosaurs. But if you wanted to talk about faith, hope, and love, it was a hard no. Well, I went to those libraries anyway, and parents and grandparents showed up in droves, and they said, yes, we love Jesus, we love our families, and we want to get back to the values that produce blessing in our country. And this has turned into not just a protest, but an entire movement across the country. And now, on August 16th, we have our third annual See You at the Library Day, where parents and grandparents and children in all 50 states, 500 public libraries, and tens of thousands of people will be gathering to sing patriotic songs, to pray and thank God, and read books of Christian virtue or any book that they like at their public libraries to rewrite the narrative that America does not want to go down the rainbow sewer. It wants to get back to the high road of truth and goodness and beauty. And we're inviting everybody to find a library that's participating or adopt your own public library and be a part of See You at the Library event on August 16th.
Now, Kirk, you tell us a little about Brave Books. Did you start that publishing house?
No, I joined a publishing company, and they operate out of Texas, and they have this amazing company that produces a new children's book every month with a pro-God, pro-America value. And it's teaching children and giving parents opportunity to homeschool their kids or augment their private or public school education with books and curriculum that teach them about honesty, about trustworthiness, about forgiveness, turning to God as your ultimate source of truth, and trusting your parents to help you understand right from wrong and good from evil. So I've written a few books together with them, and they've got a Book of the Month club. They've now got a streaming service, and I just produced a children's television show with them called Iggy and Mr. Kirk. It's kind of like a modern-day version of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood for families in 2025. And they're an awesome company. I can't say enough about Brave Books.
Hey, this is Wesley here. It sounds like a spinoff of See You at the Pole. I know growing up, I looked forward to that when I was in middle school and high school. See You at the Pole was a big deal, especially here in Mississippi. And so tell us again about the dates and where people can go, because it sounds like it's more than just you doing it. Other people can participate in it as well.
That's right. That's right. It's on August 16th. And if you go to seeyouatthelibrary.com, you can find a map of the United States, zoom into your county, in your state, and find that library and just show up. And if you don't have a library near you, you can adopt one, and we'll give you a kit and show you how to do it. You can turn it into a fundraiser and bless a charity in your local area and help Brave Books to get these things into schools all over the country. The important thing to remember is that this isn't just about showing up and reading books. It's about giving moms and dads the opportunity to engage the culture in the public square. Too often as Christians, we complain about the culture, but we're not supposed to be complainers. We're supposed to be creators. Yeah. And so if we don't show up and speak the truth with boldness and love, the other side will fill the void. And believe me, they're advancing their values every single day. If we don't stand for our beliefs now in the public square, we risk we risk the freedom, and we will lose the opportunity to live those values later.
Talking to Kirk Cameron here on the program. Kirk joins us from Tennessee.
Hey, I'm looking at this I'm looking at the map right now for our Mississippians. There's one in Vicksburg or Jackson, Mississippi area. That's a big area, but there's one in Jackson area and there's one in Eupora, and you can get those exact address locations for those libraries by going. I found it this way. I went to bravebooks.us, and from there it has a link that you can click on to find
where Kirk's going to be.
Okay, I'll share that on.
Well, no,
Facebook.
Not where he's going to be.
Where they're going to have these See You at the Library, and there's still time to.
Oh yeah, plenty of time.
Set one up yourself.
They're all over America. I can't even count all the blue dots, but I'm looking at probably 40 or 50 at least libraries, probably more across the country.
Hundreds. We've got over 100
okay.
libraries signed up already. Last year we had 360 total, and this year we're hoping for 500 libraries and 50,000 people joining us on August 16th.
That'd be
so it's super cool.
Absolutely. I'm talking to Kirk Cameron. Kirk, the show that you were on that was very popular was Growing Pains from 1985 to 82 on ABC, right?
That's right.
So
That's right. 85 to 92, yeah.
Was that along the same time as the Cosby Show?
It was, and boy, our hearts break.
Yeah.
For Malcolm Jamal Warner's family, and what a tragedy. Man,
for those who haven't heard, Malcolm Jamal Warner, who
played Theo,
on the Cosby Show back in the 80s, right?
Yes.
His name was Malcolm. His real name is Malcolm Jamal Warner. He died in a sort of freak accident yesterday. 54 years old, family vacation in Costa Rica. Don't know, he drowned somewhere or another. Maybe
he got sucked out by a riptide.
Anyway, very tragic news. And so that's why I thought y'all were contemporaries, on similar style shows about a family back in the day.
That's right.
So anyway, well, listen, Kirk, thanks so much, brother, for being on with us. We wish you much success here, and thank you for standing up for truth and the gospel. And come see us when you can.
Well, I would like that very much. I appreciate you guys, and remember, be joyful always. Pray continually and give thanks in all circumstances.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Kirk. Take care, my friend.
All right.
Okay, see ya.
I really appreciate
Kirk
him.
Cameron.
Yeah, it's Kirk Cameron. I really appreciate him emphasizing the alternative to complaining. Obviously, you can disagree and express your complaining in a constructive way, but the constructive way ultimately is being creative and providing a creative alternative. And so this is his answer, and this can be your answer in your area to the drag queen story hours that's taking place. And obviously call and complain and say we don't want those, but at the same time, here's what we do want.
Well, there's an old expression: "Don't just curse the darkness, light a candle."
Yeah, amen.
And that's a pretty
Light a candle.
Christian, huh?
I smell good candle.
I agree with you.
It's a scented candle.
No, not a
Golly.
scented candle. I hate those at my house. I'm just going to
Incense?
say.
What about incense?
Yeah,
You
I don't go
That's
for any of
what
that.
Wes, yeah.
It just makes my nose run.
I gotta cancel the candle. I just
Yeah. No surprise, Dad hijacked a spiritual moment there.
There are some churches like Greek Orthodox. They're big into incense. You know?
Yes, and I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying, in my home, okay, I don't want to walk in and get hit with a wall of pumpkin spice or some other horrifying smell.
Yeah.
By the way, Kirk Cameron, a lot of folks may also know him. He partners with Ray Comfort in the evangelistic ministry, The Way of the Master.
Mm-hmm.
So Kirk is very, very busy and very productive. He's one of these guys like you're talking about, Wesley, who comes up with creative ways to get the gospel message out. And Tim, this is your cue to hijack the message.
No, I just more power to you, brother. I appreciate what you had to say right there. And Wesley, you too. But you guys,
why won't you just repeat what we contributed?
Well,
see what you learned. Yeah. What you learned?
I learned that melatonin
is better than Ambien.
And Ambien.
Yeah.
And watermelon. All three different things.
Yeah. And you learned it.
Don't get them mixed up.
Melatonin.
You know what I'm saying?
And
get them mixed
your
up.
skin.
Easy to do in the summer.
Melanin is two different things.
All right, you're listening to today's issues. Back to you, Chris.
I have a scam alert.
What's your next story? You have a what?
A scam alert.
Scam alert. Give us a scam alert.
I'll post this link on our
Scam alert.
That's right. I'll post this link on our Today's Issues Facebook page. But Amazon says scammers are tricking Prime users into giving up their passwords and payment details, pretending to be Amazon itself, and they are getting better at it. The company alerted users after a sharp increase in fake emails and phone calls targeting its 200 million customers in July, just after their Prime Day sales event. Amazon sent an email warning customers that scammers are posing as the company and claiming their Prime membership will be renewed at a higher price unless they cancel it immediately. This is a big concern because basically if they can get into your emails, if they can attack you in one way and get your Amazon account information, they can get a lot more.
Here's half the world uses Amazon.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Probably Americans, I'm saying 50% of Americans or more use Amazon. So what these scammers are doing is trying to pose as Amazon to Amazon customers. Right, and it's tricking a lot of people. And Amazon themselves are warning against this.
Well, because they're getting very good at creating an email that looks legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of the scammers, you know, even 5 years ago, their scam emails would have misspelled words, and they clearly know what they're talking about. They were a little bit easier to pick out. But if for Amazon
now with AI,
yes, it's becoming. It's crazy out there, man.
I'm becoming cynical. I don't answer anything. I think everything's a scam.
Yeah.
I don't even take my wife's phone calls anymore.
That's why you don't respond to my emails, man.
That's right. That's right.
I got a text yesterday. I'm sure y'all got it too. I got a text yesterday.
Toll Bridge?
Well, it said, hey, it just from a number I don't recognize, 332 something. It says, "Hey, got a sec?"
Sec. Yeah, that's it. I got that one.
You
I got that one. Yeah.
Look, hey, got a sec? And what it is
yes, I do.
Yeah, they want you to respond so that they'll know that you have an active phone number.
Yes.
Yes. You respond and say, sure. And then they
Right.
know we got a live one.
Right. I was going to say absolutely. What's going on?
And then if you
I
answer
didn't
them-
do that. I don't answer it because for the very reasons we're talking about. But
If you answer one of these calls, you always get, hello, my name is David.
Well, my daughter got one like a month ago, and she said it just said, "Are you still alive?"
You still alive?
That was the text from some unknown number. Random number she gets on her phone. Are you still alive? Of course, all these are bait.
Yes.
They're bait for you to confirm to the scammer that you have an active phone number, right?
My wife the other day asked to see my debit card.
Yeah.
And I told her no. This seems like a scam. I said I don't know if you're really my wife. Forget it.
You got a DMV one, didn't you?
I did. I got one from the DMV. I get those fairly. I have. Which we've talked about this.
Who
Tim,
knew
you
the
and I.
North Koreans were so into spamming?
Well, I would get these messages from the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles if my wife and I had gone and driven to Dallas to see my sister or family members, and that's what kind of made it look real. I thought, how do they know that I was in Texas? But I just got one last week from Mississippi. So it's the first one I've gotten from my own.
What do they want you to do?
They want you to pay the toll.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
Mississippi has toll roads.
We don't have toll roads here.
Thank the Lord we don't.
They
Yes.
want you to go to this quote unquote website.
It's a link they give you.
And a link, and then you put in your debit card information.
Well,
whatever, to pay it. Otherwise, you could lose your license and all kinds of other bad stuff they tell
By
you.
clicking the link, though, it's more than them expecting you in most cases to give you information. By clicking the link, they then have access to get in your phone.
Right.
Yeah, it can download malware.
Yeah.
We had an interesting experience back in March. My wife and I went to Branson, and we went to see an event, and we sat down in our seats, and my wife gets a text message, and it was like, possible fraud alert, this is your bank, and it named the name of the bank, which coincidentally we are customers of, and it went on to say that, like, purchases have been made out of your normal area, click here, and she showed it to me, and we both felt that it seemed like a scam, like it was just people that somehow knew we were customers at this particular bank. So I was like, no, let's not answer it, let's not respond or whatever. And it turned out to be a legit text message from our bank. So when we went out to went out for some ice cream later that night, her card didn't work. And
well, when you travel out of state, if you travel a few hundred miles from your home, sometimes that will trigger a fraud alert.
So we were trying to be cautious, and we just assumed this is probably a scam, a well thought out scam. But sometimes when you can be overcautious, I guess is my point.
I would like, if I could, to add to y'all's paranoia.
Please do.
Please, because
So
I'm not
I'm looking
paranoid
around.
enough.
I'm looking around and waiting for somebody to peel back their face, like Mission Impossible here in this room.
So I was watching Law and Order I was watching a TV show the other night, and it was Law and Order, and a cop who gets called on their phone by another cop. I'm oversimplifying this, leaving out all the details. Called to a scene that they were requested to go to based on a crime that they were investigating.
Yeah.
Well, they get there, and that cop gets kidnapped because the phone call that they took was the voice of their partner cop, but it was AI voiceover.
Yeah, it was cloned.
It was cloned. So that's the reason when I don't even take phone calls unless it's I go to voicemail. And if I call somebody back because it sounds legit, I let them talk first. I don't talk to a phone like or what you were describing the other day, a while ago, like a telemarketer or whatever. I don't, because I'm scared they're going to take my voice and use my voice for something down the road that I didn't intend it to be used for.
Yeah, and then my wife gets a call from me, quote unquote, and it sounds like me.
Yep.
And I say, hey, we need to go to this website, and
So if you do get a telemarketer, let's say you accidentally pick one up, okay, and you go, oh, I shouldn't have taken that one. Don't say any. I wouldn't say anything.
Or you can just disguise your voice.
Yes, that's a good one.
There was a story last year. I'm pretty sure we talked about it. Maybe even Steve covered it during the 11 to 11:30 story. But there was like an incident last year where a mom got a phone call from it was an AI scam using her daughter's voice.
Yeah.
Creepy stuff.
Yes.
Like a deep fake type thing. Well, this all started. We started talking about this because there is the company Amazon has issued an alert.
Yes.
To all their customers, beware of scamming emails, right?
Yes.
That pretend to be Amazon, but they're not, telling the people to initiate or do something. I got a card at my well, I don't know if this was a scam or not, but anyway, a postcard at my house. And it wanted me to call the bank about a mortgage or something like that. But it was the bank that I used. So, but it was like, it looked like something that anyway, I didn't check it out, so maybe I should check it out.
Well, anymore, what I try to do is I go, like if I get a notification from my bank, if we're 200 miles away, I don't click the link in the notification. I go to my app, my bank app, and they have a little thing where it messages. So I access the message that way rather than going through the message I get on the phone.
But credit card companies routinely stop you if you don't let them know. That's why you need to let them know in advance.
Once a week, I get a PayPal, or once every 2 weeks, I get a PayPal email that's not from PayPal. That's a fake PayPal that telling me I owe X amount of money. I've had a zero balance there for years.
That's a popular scam. PayPal. All right.
You didn't get us.
No.
Try again.
You're right. Anyway, so yeah, the text says, hey, got a sec?
They got a sec.
They want me to answer.
Delete and block.
Yes, they need. Yeah. All right, we'll see you back here in 5 minutes with more of today's issues.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast may not necessarily reflect those of the American Family Association or American Family Radio.
Faith, family, freedom. American Family Radio.
American Family Radio has always been portable, but thanks to technology, AFR apps have redefined our portability. Whether you prefer Apple or Android, we've got you covered on your phone or tablet. We're also available on Roku, and of course, you can get Alexa to play us on your smart device. Take us with you across town or across the country. Visit afr.net or your app store today.
This is American Family Radio, a listener-supported ministry of the American Family Association.
American Family News, I'm Rusty P. President Trump is vowing to continue his fight against Harvard on withholding their federal funds. There's also an Obama-appointed judge who is set to rule in this legal battle. The president issued a statement slamming the liberal judge, saying that she will rule against him, but he will appeal and win. Eric Teitzel, CEO of the Center for Renewing America, says a liberal judge is not going to stop Trump from doing what is right.
Well, the president's obviously right about the role that federal district court judges have played, politicizing themselves, making politically motivated decisions rather than ones according to the rule of law. Unfortunately, he's probably right that we can expect that to happen again with this judge, at least at this initial stage. But where the president is also right is the final outcome here. Harvard is trying to have its cake and eat it too. They claim that withholding these funds is a violation of their free speech rights, that it somehow hinders the ability to have ideological diversity and open discussion of viewpoints on campus, the very same things that it refuses to afford to its students, faculty, and staff, namely to Jewish students, faculty, and staff on campus.
The two illegal aliens who shot an off-duty Border Patrol agent during a robbery in New York have a long criminal history, but have been released back into society numerous times. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem visited the recovering agent in the hospital and blasted sanctuary city policies.
I'm calling on every single mayor and sanctuary city and sanctuary governor to change their policies and to change their tactics right now. How many more people have to be hurt and victimized before we have public safety? When I look at what Mayor Adams has done to New York City, it breaks my heart. We look at Mayor Wu in Boston and what has happened there under her watch. What's happened in L.A. with the riots and the violence.
President Donald Trump demanded cashless bail end immediately on Monday, citing crime in U.S. cities, as well as increased attacks on law enforcement. Nassau County, New York District Attorney Ann Donnelly says it's time to stop coddling criminals.
You know, this criminal coddling that's been going on since they started with cashless bail, discovery reform, pay for free lawyers for everybody is just getting out of hand. And as the district attorney, my job is to prosecute criminals and to help victims. And nobody seems to care about the victims anymore.
A Christian legal organization says free speech has won in a Virginia court case. Bronson Woodruff has more.
A Virginia circuit court has effectively stopped a state ban on talk therapy for gender-confused minors. A press release from Liberty Counsel says the court found it's a violation of the state's constitution and religious liberty laws. Daniel Schmidt is Associate VP of Legal Affairs of Liberty Counsel.
Since 2012 or so, a number of jurisdictions in the country, Virginia included, passed prohibitions on counselors providing counsel to minors with unwanted same-sex attractions or gender confusion. Of late, beginning with the 11th Circuit a couple of years ago and then continuing with this decision from the Virginia court, said that that's unconstitutional under the First Amendment.
He explained the courts found it discriminates on viewpoint and content, which he said is prohibited, and that states and local jurisdictions do not have the authority to restrict that practice. He clarified the difference between conversion therapy and talk therapy.
There's a semantic distinction, so it depends on who you are. Conversion therapy is not a thing. No one does it. It's a negative connotation that people have attributed to talk therapy to suggest that what counselors are trying to do is convert, quote unquote, these minors away from being gay.
He said it's no different than any counseling session that takes place every day in counseling offices across the country. Schmidt explained that in this particular counseling, it's usually a religious minor who struggles with unwanted same-sex attractions for whatever reason.
And finally, a heat dome is expected to settle over much of the U.S. this week. Fox 32 Chicago's Emily Walls has more.
A large portion of the central United States, the southeastern portion of the U.S., under some sort of heat headline, whether that's an advisory, an extreme heat watch, or a warning. Actual air temperatures are going to be in the upper 90s. But once you factor in really high humidity, it's actually going to be feeling more like 105 to 115, so dangerously hot conditions.
For American Family News, I'm Rusty Pugh.
AFA Action takes attacks on the family seriously. The enemies of the family constantly employ new tactics to try to sneak past our radar. They know if we stand together, their evil plans will fail. Your gift to AFA Action allows us to stay vigilant against their onslaught. And if you give this month, you'll receive access to the Cultural Institute video When Your Faith is Illegal by Frank Harbor on AFA Stream as our thanks. You can make your gift today at afaaction.net.
Today's Issues continues on AFR with your host, Tim Wildman, President of the American Family Association.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to today's Issues on the American Family Radio Network. Thanks for listening to this program. I'm Tim Wildman with Ed Vitagliano and Wesley Wildman. And now Steve Paisley-Jordahl joins us. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, everybody.
How are you?
I'm well. I'm feeling very relieved today.
Why is that?
Well, I might have told you all that my wife and I are going on a cruise in August, and we're going to Alaska, which is in the United States, so I shouldn't need a passport, but we are stopping in Canada, and I just might. And I have one, but I've lost it because I've moved a couple times and everything. So I was needing to get another passport, but I've also don't have my birth certificate. Well, I ordered my birth certificate, and it showed up at the office today about 5 minutes ago. So
Well,
I
good
now have
for
a
you
birth certificate.
ICE was about to come after
I know.
you.
I know. Now I can prove that I'm born in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your passport arrived.
No, my birth certificate arrived. Now I got to go get the passport. I might not need it, but
Where were you born?
Portland, Oregon,
Okay.
1960, Multnomah County.
Okay, Multnomah County.
Yeah.
So you got that now. You got to get an expedited
Passport.
Then you can go to where? Then you can go to Canada, right?
Yeah, Victoria.
So are y'all taking the boat out of Seattle or Vancouver?
Seattle.
But you're going to stop in Vancouver.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
Well,
Vancouver,
is this your? I've wanted to do a Alaskan cruise, but haven't. Have you? Ever
No,
done?
this is the first Alaskan cruise. The
Who
closest
are you
I
going
came.
with?
My wife.
Well, okay. Let me.
I thought this was a
rephrase the question.
Family show. Let me refine.
And he's going to a Coldplay concert.
Oh man. Let me refine. Let me rephrase that.
Please do.
Okay. Once I say this, you guys will go.
I know exactly what you know. I know what you're
saying.
asking now.
Are you going with a ministry? Are you going just as individuals?
Just as individuals.
That's what you meant.
Just as individuals. We're just taking a vacation.
Okay.
And we're going on
So
Canard.
you can drink if you want to.
If I want to.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose.
But you're Baptist, right?
I am.
I'm only kidding, people. Don't email me. I'm only kidding.
Settle down.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
Trouble now.
we're going with Canard, the cruise line.
Canard.
Canard.
That means lie. Canard.
Well, no, C-A-N-A-R-D. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is C-U-N-N-A-R-D.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is the. It might be not so good news because Canard is the company that back in the day bought White Line Shipping. You might not know. I think it's White Line. It's White something Shipping. They own the Titanic.
Oh.
So is this an omen for you?
I hope not. I'm pretty sure that we're going to be okay. We'll be within sight of the shore the whole time. So if I have to swim,
that'll save you.
That helps.
As long as you see it, you can swim to it.
Off the coast
Right?
of Alaska.
Yeah.
In the midst of a pod of orcas.
We look forward to your
report.
Your story when you get back.
I'm glad to let you in on.
So is this the kind of thing where you're going to go like to a glacier and you can get on the glacier and?
Well, they don't. No, we're going to Glacier Bay, but I don't think we get off the boat.
Get on a glacier. What do you think?
Yeah,
like this is Disney World or something?
No, I've talked to people who have gone on Alaskan cruises and they'll take you to a glacier,
right?
And then you
can slide down.
And you can. Well, no, it's flat for miles.
Yeah. If it gets too close to where the glacier's calve is what they're calling when they kind of break off, it can get kind of dangerous. I don't believe we're getting off the boat, and but we're stopping in Ketchikan and another town in Alaska, and then Victoria, and then
Ketchikan,
I think it's called.
Yeah, Tim, keep being a wise guy, and I'm going to call Vanessa from the West Coast office and tell them you really want to talk to someone about your car warranty.
And give him his email.
And give your email.
No, I will kill somebody. That happens.
By the way, you guys have been talking
I'll gladly go to jail.
You guys have been talking about the Colbert Show?
Yes.
Go.
I'm going to miss the Colbert Show.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yes, Steve.
I've been missing it for
emotional?
10 years, and so I'm going to continue missing it.
Stephen Colbert. Oh, you haven't
Haven't watched it once.
Yeah. Listen, now somebody. Well, CBS is canceling the Stephen Colbert. It's called the Late Show, right?
Yes.
Was that the one that David Letterman started?
It was.
Yes.
Okay, so he started it.
He left NBC to start it.
Because he used to come on after Jay Leno.
Yep.
Who did the Tonight Show for many years, and then before him, obviously the Johnny Carson era. But
Jimmy Fallon now has the Tonight Show. It's not
Jimmy
going so well
Fallon,
for them either. But,
I don't watch any of them.
I don't watch any of them, but I will say this: Jimmy Fallon is the least objectionable to me.
Right.
Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
They were mean-spirited and nasty.
Yeah.
And so dismissive and insulting towards conservatives. that I couldn't stand him. Jimmy Fallon, I think he still kind of leans left, but he didn't seem to me to be that kind of nasty.
He it booked Donald Trump during the first campaign and joked around with him, even pulled his hair
Oh,
to
yeah, I
real
remember
and
that.
everything.
Yeah.
And he got next to canceled. They were not happy with him. You're humanizing him. You're humanizing him.
Yeah.
And so then he stopped doing that. He started being a little left-leaning. But the conservatives online are now kind of celebrating the Colbert cancellation and everything. But what they're saying is that late night has just stopped being funny altogether. It's just not funny. I mean, yeah, you got the political, but even when it's not political, it's not funny. And they have a clip from the Colbert Show to prove it, and it is a stupid little video.
Is this where they danced around like vaccine?
Okay, that was the Colbert Show.
Yeah,
and that was the
when he was on Comedy Central.
Yeah, no, that was just Tonight. It was 2022.
Oh, okay.
He was in the Tonight Show, or the Late Show. And
very cringe.
Oh, it
cringy.
was. But what they have on the Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon he's dancing around. He and Farrell, what's his?
Colin Farrell?
No, the other one.
Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell.
Oh,
jumping around, and they're wearing jeans, cut off jeans, and they're calling them jorts. And they just sit around and say, "Where are my jorts? Where are my jorts?" It's the stupidest, least funny thing I've ever seen, and that's what they're using as the example of why late night has gone the way of the dodo bird. Its demise is imminent.
Well, Johnny Carson, the reason he was so popular, of course, back in that era, talking 60s, 70s, even into the 80s, is because there wasn't cable TV yet. It was just now coming to pass, so there wasn't much competition. So you were obviously going to get a larger audience, right? So, but Johnny Carson had a good personality for late night TV. He would poke fun at both sides of the political aisle,
right?
But it was like good-natured humor. It wasn't mean-spirited.
And he poked fun at himself.
Ugly. Yeah.
He would tell kind of corny jokes.
Yeah.
They would bomb, but it was all part of the thing.
That deadpan look.
And he would mock himself for the bad joke.
He was a kingmaker. Comedians would come on and they would just hope and pray that they would be invited over to the couch.
Yeah.
Because if you were invited over to the couch, then you
on the Johnny Carson.
On the Johnny Carson show, comedians would come out and
the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
He launched a lot of comedians, including Seinfeld was early on his. Steve Martin was early.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey was early with Carson. So yeah.
All right, next story.
All right, hey, there's currently. Have we loaded Cut 10? There's currently a little scandal developing in Southern California. I know you're going to be surprised to find that there's a scandal going on in California. But you remember the Palisades fire that happened earlier? I think it was earlier this year.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of homes were
set on fire. Was that last fall already? Or when was that?
I have to look.
January.
Good with the story. I'll look it up.
Well, so they decided to do a celebrity concert, one of these We Are the World type things, where they invited all these celebrity musicians in, and they called it Fire Aid, and they raised $100 million.
January this year.
Well, one of the people that lost her home is an investigative reporter, and another neighbor of hers pointed out, I haven't seen any of the money. Where it went. So she went looking for the money. This is what she found. Cut 10.
Fire Aid, that star-studded concert that raised $100 million for wildfire victims. But where did all that money go? Investigative journalist Sue Pascoe has been digging for answers.
All this money are going to nonprofits, and then nonprofits will take care of making sure the money's distributed. Initially, they gave $50 million to about 120 nonprofits. I would urge everyone to just go to the nonprofits that are listed if you want a good laugh. I mean, one of the nonprofits cleans preschool bathrooms.
Not a dime has been seen by any of the people.
The actual people.
And now I'm seeing that squatters are coming and setting up tents and mobile homes on the properties of the people who lost their homes, and they can't. The people who own the property, if they wanted to rebuild or whatever, they can't get them off.
Because you got to go through a civil court or something. What is the deal too? It seems like Governor Gavin Newsom had announced last week. I just saw the headline in this, wasn't able to actually click through and read the article. Is there a move on the part of California to snap up this property and build public housing?
I saw the headline as well, and I did not read the article. I think that's correct. I'd have to do a little bit of research to be able to report on it accurately, but I saw that same headline, low-income housing, which doesn't surprise anybody, but yeah. So,
and they would take it by eminent domain. And they would say for the public use, we're taking your property.
They could do that. Now,
fire.
they would compensate them market value usually. They don't have to, but they would, I think. These are very rich and powerful people.
And these people don't want to give up that land. They want to rebuild.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the wisdom of rebuilding in these kinds of spots.
Even if they want to rebuild, remember, they're rebuilding in California. And it takes about 4 times as much effort to build in California as it does anywhere else in the world because of all the regulations. So things are not going well in the fire country in Southern California.
Well, these kind of things, and again, and it might be a good story if you have time. You got plenty to do, but remember the fire in Hawaii?
Yeah,
there were a lot of people talking about, okay, what's going to happen to that property now? Is the state going to use eminent domain to snap it up? And I just lost touch with the story. I don't know what's happened over there, but it's always people get suspicious about the start of the fires, and I'm not trying to promote some kind of conspiracy theory because that's just not me.
No, it's not.
But it is, and listen, it's hard for me to feel badly for rich elites in California who probably despise my values, but I don't think it's right for the state to just take that and say, hey, we're going to give it away to somebody else.
It's quite socialist of you.
Yes. Well.
Next story, Steve.
All right. So the Iranian foreign minister, his name is Abbas Araghchi, sat down at Fox News with Brett Baer, Special Report, and they had a little interview, and he asked him a whole number of questions. But what interested me was the questions he asked. He said, I hear every day we hear reports of you starting your legislative session with the chance of death to America, death to Israel. What's that about? He asked, and this was the answer. Cut 8.
The Supreme Leader and other officials in Iran have always said that death to America is in fact death to the, hegemonic policies of the United States. Not to the people of United States. Yes, there are some perhaps radicals, persons or groups here and there in different places, inside, outside of Iran, who may say something like what you said, but that has never been our policy, and they will never be in our policy in the future. This is not our policy to kill anybody outside Iran, let alone the president of another country.
With all due respect, you're supplying arms and drones and missiles to Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. The Houthis are firing on U.S. and international ships. Obviously, the actions of Hamas and Hezbollah, no matter what you say their motivation is, are causing death.
We believe that those freedom fighters, let me say, Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, they are fighting for a just cause. And we have always supported them politically and in other ways because we think that they are, as I said, fighting for something absolutely legitimate.
Even if that fighting, in their words, is about wiping Israel off the face of the map.
Well, if we have never said that.
They have.
Well, that is up to them. They are fighting for their own homeland. So they may say anything.
All right, listen, just one note here. That was the Iranian foreign minister?
Correct.
He said, we, talking about Iran, has never said wipe Israel off the face of the earth?
That's what he said.
Okay, so when you say death to America, death to Israel, could that not be interpreted as wiping them off the face of the earth?
It's clearly a metaphor, Tim.
In
his words,
metaphor.
He wants
a friendly one.
He wants death to the hegemonic policies of the United States.
Well, why didn't he say that? That needs to be their opening chant. Death to the
hegemony.
Hegemony.
Death to the hegemony policies of the United States, not death to America. That way we wouldn't confuse the two, conflict the two.
Death to hegemonic policies.
Right. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
That they need to say.
Yeah, then he said, we never said that. And he said, yeah, but you did. And he goes, yeah. He said, well, how did he phrase it at the end? He said,
freedom fighters.
Freedom fighters.
Talking about Hamas and Hezbollah.
Yeah.
That's what so there you go.
He said, well, some of them may say that.
Well, listen, I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to be kind here, but radical Islam is a blight on the human race.
Right.
Because if you won't condemn Hamas and Hezbollah after the things they've said and the things they've done, then you are no different than any other kind of fascist ideology. And
they're for them. He's saying the Iranian government, and we've known this. They're kind of out in the open. They're for they're for what we would call terrorists who are trying to wipe out the Jews. And
that's my point.
Yeah.
Is that Iran is run by radical Islamists.
They call them freedom fighters.
Yes.
That's their idea.
Yeah.
Hamas and Hezbollah. So
the Houthis. I wish who
Blowfish
was
we don't know about.
Brett Baer was interviewing him. I wish he had thought to say to the Iranians, well, we applaud the Israeli freedom fighters that destroyed your nuclear facilities.
Right.
They're freedom fighters. What do you think of that?
Right. I know.
and if you attack any Americans, the freedom fighters that come on our aircraft carriers are going to teach you a thing or two about.
Yeah, I don't think Brett Baer would say that, but that's what Donald Trump has said for sure. I've been seeing some pop-ups on my Twitter feed of some radical Muslim voices in America who have said we're done wanting to assimilate.
Right.
We are. One voice is a gal that said, "So you're worried about going to prison? Well, if that's the cost for jihad, then go to prison. We're done playing around." And another guy said, "We don't want to assimilate. We want to conquer." So it's a very strident religion, and they do. And once they claim a country or a territory, they believe it belongs to them forever.
Right.
So
that's the way I am.
Have
Well, yeah, that's actually a good point, Tim, because these jihadis need to understand that that's the way we feel about our country, too.
Right.
It's ours forever.
Forever.
And you ain't getting it.
Right.
All right.
Next story, Steve.
I'm just suddenly in a bad mood, and I don't know why.
I'm going to put you in a good mood.
Stephen Colbert?
Yeah, maybe
we brought him up, and you've been in a bad mood ever
since.
Let me put you in a good mood. Do you have an organ donation symbol on your card? Are you an organ donor?
I do not.
I do.
First of all, nobody wants my organs. I'm at the age where people go, no, thank you.
Yeah, some people. I'm there too, but
wait a minute now. Who's an organ donor in this room? Let's raise our hand.
I'm not.
Wesley, are you an organ donor?
No.
Brent, are you?
I would.
So Steve and I are.
Yeah, I would be double.
Is it possible you'd be an organ donor and not know?
Well,
in some countries,
you won't know when they come for them. I'll tell you that now. No, I'm kidding. I'm not meaning to. But everybody should consider being an organ donor because.
I've considered it.
Wait until they fix this before you do that, though. This is a cautionary tale.
Okay,
yes.
Go ahead.
So put me in a good mood. You said
an investigation by the Health Resources and Services Administration found that there have been several families that have slated surgeons to attempt to initiate organ retrievals while the patients were still alive.
No.
Yes.
That is what doesn't need to happen.
I know.
I told them that. I told them,
and now you know the reason why
I put on that certificate.
Not until
I said, I better be dead.
Well, in defense of those who do this, okay, who harvest. Oh, that's such an awful
I'm going to
word.
change my card now.
Harvest.
I don't want to be
organs,
harvested.
Is they do need to keep the body alive so that the organs don't begin to die. So they have to determine whether a person can come out of whatever state they're in. And if they say, no, this person's brain dead, for example, he's not going to make it. but we keep his body alive so we can harvest.
Some stories we should just stay
I
away
don't-
from.
well,
and that's
I don't want to be
too late now.
Listen, I don't want to be quasi. when I don't want to hear them in the background going, "Well, is he dead or not?" So,
Not dead yet.
no, take that liver.
Not dead yet.
He's not saying anything.
Take that liver or not.
So the study found that there
Listen,
was,
we're kidding around here. This is a science, okay? This
Yeah.
is a serious medical
That's why I
thing.
said that-
And listen, organ
That's why I
donor.
said there's some stories that if you bring on TI, this is how this goes.
I know.
Just don't
I
bring it
know.
on.
We probably should not do stories like this because it's left to me to keep us on task
Yes,
and make
course.
this a serious
Yeah.
issue. And your eyesight. I mean, in all seriousness, people have gained eyesight.
Oh yeah.
Lives have been saved by heart and other organ transplants
Yes.
that have been donated by people. So
Yes.
it's
And it is.
it
not
is
to
a good
science.
thing.
What do
Go
you
ahead.
let
But the
Steve
study
finish?
finds that rushed decision making in organ demands are taking priority over donor safety in Kentucky.
I'll say.
More than 70 canceled organ removals alone should have been stopped sooner than they were because patients showed signs of revival in Kentucky alone. According to
who's
this.
reporting this now?
This is the Health Resources and Services Administration.
Calling in.
Secretary Robert Kennedy is pledging to reform the whole kit and caboodle.
Okay.
That's scary.
I know.
That's
why I brought it in.
Patients showed signs of revival, and they said, too late.
Health Resources and Services
You can
Administration.
just keep the article.
Administration.
Tim's going to write a letter.
Well,
He's
this
getting very
may be the
nervous.
same group that texts me every week.
How are you feeling?
That's why. You better start answering them, but
I
then
know,
think you're
right?
dead.
You got a sec? We want to
You
just
gotta
check
say,
how
we're
you're
talking about
feeling.
your kidney.
You thought it wasn't. You thought you needed to not answer them, but maybe you do.
Right. Health reserve. Anyway, I did not need to know that story.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Anyway.
Yeah, you wanted to go all self-righteous on Wesley
did.
and I, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So y'all are anyway. Go ahead.
Well,
We got
that's it.
about 30 seconds. What do you got left?
I got 10 seconds.
Okay, go.
California's lost 18,000 jobs at fast food industry because they raised the minimum wage to $20 an hour.
Told you.
Yeah.
Told you so.
They've lost these jobs, and they're not getting it back.
18,000?
18,000 jobs it's cost them.
Now the ice cream machine will never work.
Never.
Because we were having trouble when we had the 18,000 fast food restaurant workers. Now, huh?
Well, you
don't
think
tell
if
me
you pay
their ice cream repairman wasn't canned in this.
If you're paying them $20 an hour, they should at least keep the ice cream machine working at McDonald's.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
man.
A lot
I
of those
agree.
jobs moved to Tennessee, so it's going to be interesting to see if Tennessee ice cream machines work.
Yeah.
By the way, we had Kirk Cameron on, who's from
did.
California.
Yeah.
He moved many years ago to Nashville.
I
He
heard that.
loves. Oh, you heard that? He
Yeah,
loves In-N-Out.
We both do. He and I are similar fans.
All right. Probably thankful that this hour and a half is over.
Yep, that's right.
And,
That was good radio.
We'll move on to tomorrow. And have a great day, everybody. Keep listening to American Family Radio.